Can't hear you, Alicia.
Sorry. How long have we been doing this? I still don't remember to check. Um, as we talked about a few times, Matt and I have been having some meetings to go through everything that you all had said in your one-on-ones and some issues that he and I had already flagged. So just a few things to come out of that I wanted to go over with you. Number one is that we have adjusted some schedules. Mary is going to stay an hour later on Tuesdays and then leave an hour earlier on Wednesday. We've, there's a lot that comes into proof between 5 and 6 on Tuesdays because we have multiple publications that are due at 6, 6:30, and 6:45. So we're hoping that helps with the bottleneck there. Emma on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will move from 3 to midnight to 1 to 10. So she can do more with setup and things like that. And then Jack is going to move dayside on Wednesdays so that Matt can devote time on Wednesdays to all of the fun administrative stuff that he hasn't really been having time for, making sure that we've got the calendar always updated, cleaning things out, figuring out things, meetings, spreadsheets, all that awesome management stuff. Matt just hasn't had enough spreadsheet time lately, and he's really looking forward to more. So if you see as we go through that any of these changes are causing some issues or you're worried about them, please just let me know. We're trying to figure out how to make the schedule work for everybody. And, as I'm sure you all can guess, it's complicated and there's a lot of moving pieces.
Well, one of the things on Wednesday I do hope to address too is in your one-on-ones with Alicia and also in that survey, things that you may not be comfortable with and or feel like you need some more training. I'm hoping to address those on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is a good day because we have pretty much everybody here. And so if you need help with bright spot stuff, or if you're wondering about some wire things, or if there's any kind of sports help that you want to learn a little bit about more sports, which I'm sure all of you do. I'm going to use those Wednesdays as best I can to really be there for all of you to help you in whatever you need. So.
Other things, the way we do this meeting is going to change a little bit. Every other week, the meeting will be just us as it has been. And then on the opposite weeks, we're going to have a joint meeting with the Design Hub team members. What I'm finding is that, stuff that comes out of this meeting, then, I need to go to the designers and then say, hey, here's this thing. And they're like, but what about the other thing? And then I come back to you all and say, okay, now about this thing. And then one of you is like, but what about that thing? And it ends up being like a weird back and forth of things that, we could just talk through if we were all here together. A lot of the stuff that affects one team affects the other one because the work that we do is so interconnected. So we're just going to consolidate those meetings to make our lives easier. They'll be same time, still 3:15 on Wednesdays. So then when proofing, we're noticing some proofing bottlenecks. And one thing that I'm seeing is that when things are backed up, whoever notices it obviously jumps in and, does their best to get pages out. But I'm not always seeing that when somebody notices that backup, that they jump into our Slack room, our pod people room, and let other people know so that other people can jump in and help. So I am making an official policy that anytime you look at proofing, if there's 15 pages or more in there, you have to post in the pod people room that you need other people to jump in on proofing. So we don't want that queue to get out of control as it has been recently. If it gets like 30, 40 in there, then,
Does it make any difference how soon the pages are due?
Yeah, if it's all, stuff that's due like the following afternoon or something, then that's okay. But yeah, if it's stuff due same day, that's all backed up in there, let's just flag and ask for help. Because I know that not all of you are in the habit of always checking the proofing queue while you're doing your pod stuff. But, if it notes in the pod room, then that'll help to jump over there for a few minutes and get through that backlog so we don't miss any deadlines.
And that really helps other people who are also working on pod stuff, so they're not doing all 20 of them, and so even if you can grab just a few here and there, it really helps out. Because Pebble in a pond theory, that just stacks up and stacks up as the night goes on. So
Can I just make a request? When you're jumping in, when you haven't paid attention, just take like a few seconds to kind of see what's going on. Like if a cover just popped in with jumps, let the proofer take all those pages. Don't just grab whatever without kind of looking to see what's going on.
yeah, when I jump in to help, one of my rules is I kind of if I see 1A is already a 1A for somebody is already somebody's already checked that out. I tend to stay away from whatever kind of inside pages, like an A5, A6 or something, because those might be jump pages, even though in PageTrack they might not be labeled as jump, and so I'll when I jump in to help, a lot of times I'll take sports, or I'll take the edit page, or the weather page, or the back page, or something, and try to help that way. But yeah, that's a good point, because otherwise, if somebody has 1A out and you have their jump page, well, then you have to do the whole, does this match up, and all that. So it's a good point.
All right. And then the other thing is, before you log off for your break, please just check how many other people on the team are off for breaks as well. We've had a couple of instances where we've had, a decent number of the team all out on lunch at the same time. And then we had pages that needed proofing that were due relatively soon. And then we have missed a couple of deadlines because of that. So make sure that when you go on your break that you're noting in the Pod People room that you're logging out for lunch, so that people know how many other people are logged out, and then just check that before you log out, because, in some cases it's maybe, if you waited 15 minutes, somebody else would be back from their break. We want to just try to stagger those best we can.
Do you want to, at what point should we say too many people are on break, I should wait? Or at what point do we coordinate with each other? I'll cover your break and then you'll cover mine. Like, how do we kind of make those decisions?
Honestly, the number of people that cause a problem, if they're out, it really depends on the day. So I can't give you a number for that. I guess I would just kind of, if you work Wednesdays, what the general workload is on Wednesdays and when things seem to come in. And so, if that at this time, we get a lot of pages and all of a sudden all the news content is coming in for all of our sections. And then you see that 3 people are already out on lunch. Maybe you decide to wait, half an hour or something. It's just going to be based on your judgment. I know we can't get it perfect, and I do want you all to be taking your breaks. I just want us to be mindful of not all going to lunch at once. All right. And then, Matt and I still have more stuff to hash through, talk about. You all had a lot of really good information in your one-on-ones, but it's going to take us a little while to get through all of it. But that's what we've got so far. The proofing is something that every single person brought up. So that was our primary thing that we wanted to fix first, was figuring out how to make all of that work and adjusting some schedules so that we don't have as many issues with that. So, all right. Any questions or anything? All right. Well, if that's it, y'all can go. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to have Jack and Joe Fremming stay after class, if I can.